Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. And today we have two Jamesons, two Irish whiskies to review today on the channel. We have the Jameson Crested and we have the Jameson Crested Stout Cask Edition. This one really interested me, I have to be honest. This is one I actually picked up in the airport, but it's a collaboration with a local brewery near to Middleton Distillery called 8 Degrees Brewing, and it's not similar to the Jameson Stout Cask, the Caskmates series, because it's the Crested that's then finished in stout barrels. So I really wanted to know how this one's going to taste, because I, like many people, really enjoy the Jameson Stout Cask from the Caskmates series. I think it's phenomenal. That lovely coffee, chocolate and cream note on an Irish whiskey is something that I really enjoy. But the Crested is also something that I really enjoy, so I wasn't sure how it was going to work, because the Crested is sherried. Sherry, chocolate, coffee, cream? I don't know. So let's find out. So on the nose for the Jameson Crested right away, both these bottles I should say they're bottled at 40%. Straight away on the nose for me, you get a really light sweetness, apples, pears, but also for me personally, I get quite a strong apricot on the nose here, and it's probably coming from those sherry casks. I don't really get rich red fruits. That's not something that I get, even though it's sherry influenced. I think that influence adds almost like an apricot note for me. So a little bit more sweet than the traditional apple and pear. Really nice on the nose, really nice. Not complex, but nice. And then on to the Crested Stout Cask. Okay, it's a little bit different to what you might be expecting watching this when you clicked on the video. The coffee chocolate cream combo from that stout barrel, it's there, but it's not as strong, but you're still getting that sherry influence coming through. So it's almost like a sweet coffee, a sweet chocolate. But I'm not too sure I like that. I wouldn't really want a raspberry or a cherry in with my coffee, like an espresso note. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me, because you pick up the notes of the Crested, which is why I'm excited to do this review and compare them side by side, because you are picking up these notes, the apple, the pear, the apricot that I just mentioned. But it's making it a lot darker with the chocolate and the coffee, but it's not strong chocolate or coffee. It's a very watered down one. Blended with that sweetness, it's really giving me I'm not too sure if it's the best, to be honest with you. I'm not too sure if it's up my alley. But we'll start off with the tasting now. Soft, smooth apples, cooked apples, tinned apricots. You're really getting a sugar syrup in with this whiskey. A little bit of vanilla too, a little bit of vanilla cream. It's really quite a sweet whiskey, but don't think red fruits with the sweetness. It's definitely along that sugar syrup, tinned apricot mould. A little bit of vanilla and a little bit of oak, but not strong in the wood department at all. Very simple, but very pleasant. I'm not sure this is the one, you know. I'm not sure. Well, I finished the review and my phone ran out of storage, so it stopped recording. So that was a waste of time. I did give you my review on the Crested, but the Stout Cask, but I'll give it you again. So I was just about to say that this really doesn't work for me, this whiskey. It's not often I say that, but I have to be honest on this channel. I'm always going to be honest on this channel. I definitely will not recommend a whiskey that I wouldn't recommend to myself or my friends. So, yeah, I just in short, I don't recommend this whiskey, and here's why. For me, you get what you're going to expect from the Stout Cask if you've had it before. The chocolate, the coffee, the cream, you get it, but it's incredibly watered down, so those notes aren't as strong. And you're also going to pick up the sweetness of the Crested in there, which gives you this tinned peach, apple and pear mixed with coffee, chocolate and cream that's watered down. It's almost like a fruity coffee or a fruity chocolate. For me, it's not really what I want in a whiskey. It's not what I look for. It does interest me. It did intrigue me, so I had to pick it up. But because the Crested I love, the Stout Cask I love from the Caskmate series, this one for me doesn't really work. Doesn't really work. I'm also getting an orange note on the taste here of this Crested, and yeah, it just doesn't work. I'll just quickly go over it again. The one thing that I want to say something positive about it. The one thing that I maybe would say is that it's not sharp. If you've had the original Jameson, for me it can be slightly metallic, slightly off-putting. Obviously that sweetness is getting rid of the sharpness, and it does taste higher quality, far higher quality than the original, so I will say that. I think also this one's going to be aged longer than the Crested and the Stout Cask, so there's at least a couple of positives there in for it. But what I thought would be really interesting is if I also reviewed the Jameson Stout Cask, and there we'd have the Crested and the Stout Cask, and then the Crested Stout Cask, and then hopefully I can pick my favourite of the three, and just to see really if this one works or not. And here we have it, the Stout Cask on the nose. I'm almost getting a little bit of citrus, maybe a little bit of lime, but it's straight off the nose. It's not the same sweetness as this Crested Stout. I'm getting more vanilla on the nose with a little bit of that lime, but right away that coffee, I'd say almost like a coffee bean espresso, is coming through more strongly on the nose than it is on the Crested Stout. And so is that chocolate and that vanilla cream. So this Crested is going to be a blend of the two. Basically what I'm trying to say is not all blends work, do they? And I just think on their own, brilliant. On its own, very good, very good. It's all right. And that's how I feel with this one. And also I will say the Crested Stout is going to be the most expensive one, since it is limited edition. Now the Caskmates Stout Cask is going to come across the sharpest of the three. I'd imagine it's going to be the youngest of the three as well. But I just think because it doesn't have that sherry cask influence, it's just not providing the same level of sweetness. But overall, I prefer them both on their own. I think basically this is more of a Jameson Crested Stout review, and I would say actually give this one a miss. Give it a miss. And I would rather buy both of these separately, which might even work out at a similar price to this one on its own, maybe a little bit more. So I hope that helped you all out. I think I'll pick my favourite of these two. I think, to be honest with you, I think I prefer the Crested. I really do. So the Crested's going to be the winner of the three whiskies in this whiskey war, which is a little bit unusual for me. Normally it's just the two, but I hope you found it helpful at least. And I hope you found it interesting as well, because I hadn't seen this whiskey all that much. So yeah, I was intrigued, thought I'd try it, thought I'd show it for you guys. So if you liked the video or found it helpful, please like the video and click the subscribe button down below. It really helps me out. We're almost on 500 subscribers, so that'd be really nice to hit that little landmark. I know it's not much, but it's nice. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all for the next Whiskey War.